in the park, Mount Rainier National Park. We are headed to Reflection Lakes, and that is going to be our launch point. We had to change our itinerary, same as last year, reverse course, and we are going clockwise again instead of counterclockwise, but I think my distances are pretty close. First night I'm going to Devil's Dream, which I stayed at last time, but gonna do that again. Then I do have new camps for Golden Lakes as well as Mystic Campground. So then on my, I think, third or fourth day, I'll go do lunch at Sunrise Lodge before heading down to Indian Bar, which will be after Panhandle Gap and a little bit of a snow pass, but that's a gorgeous campground. So I wanted to go back to that one. But yeah, gonna be whirlwind 5 days. So excited to get up here and do a final shakedown on the pack and hit the trail. Here we are at Reflection Lake, getting going, day one. Don't know if you can tell quite how many mosquitoes are outside the vestibule, but pretty miserable camp conditions. So campsite 1, same as last time. And now we hit it, 6:45. There's a big old black bear just tucked behind that hill. Out there grazing. I'm gonna go see if I can get a better angle right here. Here we go. Yeah. Couple 100 yards out. Bear number 1, day 2. First light hikes. Just getting through Indian Henry. There's a patrol cabin. There's beautiful wildflower meadows, views of Rainier, sunrise poking over, and we saw a black bear. You know, we're a mile in, pretty good day. One of those days where I gotta try to not film every 2 seconds of the hike. But what spectacular scenery. Glad I got out of Devil's Dream before 7. This time of morning, better chance of seeing wildlife, and the lighting is gorgeous, nice and cool. Starting to forget about last night's mosquitoes. Got a bear up the trail. Looks pretty brown, but I think it's headed off. Hey, bear. Coming up. Ooh, came from way down in the next valley over there. Probably climbed I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 vertical just now. Pretty little meadow up here. Kind of crazy thinking about the progress I've made over the last 3 years. This was one of the hardest climbs I've done when I did it. And I think I was old man leaning on my walking stick, taking tiny steps and just struggling to get up this. Doesn't actually feel so bad right now. It's steep, big hill, but definitely doable. So, even if my pack's only 10 pounds lighter than last time, you know, that's over 25% weight reduction, so that makes a big difference. Carrying a lot less water these days. Ranger said, you know, you don't go more than 7 miles without a water source. Often it's more frequent than that, so I just carry maybe a liter and a quarter at most. So that's also helping the weight. God, look at this valley. We're gonna obviously have to go down to the bottom of that and back up at some point. So that should be a nice long hard afternoon. Hey, hey, Jesus, get out of here. Ooh. I just got attacked by a grouse. So I've been carrying this water bottle about 6 miles, and I've been climbing up a hill for what feels like a couple miles. I don't know, about a very big hill. And I found the owner. I was able to get that water bottle to him, and she had half a pound or 3/4 pound, whatever it weighed, but feel good. That grouse attack was crazy. I've never had that happen before. Scared all the chicks. They were all fluttering around. And then as soon as I got by the nest, I guess, mom or dad popped out. Did not like how close I was. So that'll be a cool video to go play back. I think I got some good shots. Started a bit of a descent to the final valley. So, not climbing for a stretch. Pretty sweet traverse here. Seeing a little more people backside this time around. I think the snow levels when I did it the first time scared people off, and things are quite a bit more melted, and so yeah, kind of nice. Trail's not so lonely. First few days, I didn't see any people at my first 3 campsites last time, so that's about the stretch I've done today so far, or yesterday plus today. when you look at the valleys you're going down to the bottom of and then gonna come back out the other side. Mount Hood seems like such a little baby mountain. These are ridiculous. On a massive descent here, which always means I'm gonna climb it on the other side. 6 miles, hopefully we can get there, you know, 4:30, depending on how crazy these climbs are. Getting pretty sore. This is a lot of vertical compared to Mount Hood. And feet are feeling it, quads are feeling it. Hopefully the next 2 days are both longer. A little less than 3 miles to camp. Just a steady climb, not switchbacks, but just up and up and up. Don't know how much elevation because All Trails isn't tracking my elevation for some reason. Approaching the top of this climb, and we got a nice little descent down to Golden Lakes. Pretty up here, but definitely got to earn this view. All right, we are right at 6 o'clock, just after at this point, but left camp at 6. As you can tell, it's been fun with the mosquitoes at Golden Lakes. I'll take this off once I get a little further from camp, but big day today. Going to Mystic Camp, doing the Spray Park Pass. Which is up and over through some tough terrain. This was one of the cooler parts when I did this last time, so hard to pass it up. Gonna be a really long day. We'll see how we do. Oh, he's got some bounce. Handrail's too far away. Attempt to stretch there, but I couldn't reach it. All right, just had a nice long breakfast break at that gorgeous little creek and waterfall. Now we're headed up to go tackle this Spray Park Trail. I think we got 2,000 feet left to go, vertical, to get to the kind of crest of that. Then we drop back down, and then we might have 2,500 feet of climb to get to camp. So big monster day here, 11 miles in or so. Gonna be a long afternoon, but it's 11 a.m. So plenty of time to get another 11 miles, but it's going to be really hard. Just got to march on. You know, you're climbing when you get a literal staircase. I forgot how steep it was to come this way. Pack's the lightest it's been. Oh man. This is some work. Stairs are a lot more enjoyable when this is the scenery. Really starting to climb now. I mean, we've been climbing. We're really starting to get up there now. For when the snow's too deep. Got a mom and at least one cub up there. Where'd she go? There she is. Working her way down, well off the trail. Lost sight of the cubs. But I know I saw some other little brown females up there. Looks like she's gonna keep to herself. We're going up that way. She came about 40 yards closer to the direction I'm headed, just right on those corner trees. She's just tucked around the woods. There she goes. This is my last 4.5 miles and 2,500 elevation. Is be warned, the terrain is awful and could get worse. I remember this stretch. This is a march for sure. We just work our way up. There's the glacier, giant wall of rocks. A little bit of ice in there you can see, but there's a cave at the bottom. All the melt running off. I need both hands. Got up to the glacier. Nice side view of it running up. Misleading how high we've come because we're rising with the valley here, but it's been a ways. Little marmot buddy, first one I've seen. Heard him squeaking. Big old guy. Oh, that guy was right on that mound here. That was pretty close. Alright, we're at the lake finally. 25 miles later. Gorgeous lake. This whole thing's phenomenal. Confident I'm going to be the last person to camp, so we'll see what they leave for me. Worth it to be hiking along the lake at this time of night anyway. Gorgeous. Where did we stay? We left Mystic Camp about 6:15 this morning. Pretty good. Made a cup of coffee at camp, which I hadn't done yet. It was windy enough that mosquitoes weren't really an issue, so that was great. I remember this section. This is where all the marmots were up top. Beautiful little crest up here. I think I had maybe coffee and breakfast last time going up from Granite Creek. But this is a pretty, as you can see, pretty spot. Got a hiker going for that summit. Stuff there off the left. Couple, I guess. Cool. I think somewhere over that direction is Summerland and then Indian Bar, maybe further out from the mountain, but we definitely go get into some pretty cool stuff. Just left White River Campground, stopped there for lunch. Got a real nice, what would be a perfect trail running trail. Super flat, follows the river for a few miles, so gonna just try and cruise as best I can. My Achilles are pretty tight, feet are pretty sore, but take advantage of the flat and then getting some views now. Gorgeous. This is Summerland. Gorgeous spot for sunsets. Pretty wild up here. Hitting the snow fields. Snow's pretty soft, so it's a little slick. Gonna go back to the walking stick here. Here is the Panhandle Gap. And now it is all downhill to Indian Bar, which I think is somewhere down in that valley. So we still got a ways, but feels good to be to the top of the final peak of the day. Well, if you're gonna give yourself incredibly long days, why not make the last 5 miles of those long days incredibly difficult? More bang for your buck. Well, my feet are in full rebellion mode. So I made it about halfway down to Indian Bar. You can see the cabin a little more clearly now, but God, this has got to be the slowest mile of the trip downhill. I can barely do it. Never do the Wonderland Trail without staying at Indian Bar. There's gorgeous scenery throughout, but you're never quite as close from your campsite to such a spectacular valley and just views. Only one out on the trail so far, climbing up out of Indian Bar. One of my favorite early morning spots of the trail. Remember it from last time, coming up over this pass, just being gorgeous at first light. Not sure the sun's quite crept over the hill yet, but it's definitely risen. Pretty much summarizes the Wonderland right here. Just incredible. Well, crunchier pre 7 a.m. versus 5 p.m. Not sure how that would have gone with some of those panhandle crossings. Kind of glad I did them in the slush. Could dig in a little more. Some of those traverses were pretty steep. just so beautiful up here. So remote and so big. Switchbacks on boulders. This section washed out right before I did this 2 or 3 summers ago, and it was a little dicey. Now it's just hard, but climb on. Let's go. 1.6. Oh, still going up though.